Shalom Aleichem, long time no speak. I wasn't in town, so couldn't do it. But we are in very special days. Coming up to the 10th Shabbat, the Ilula of the previous Rebbe, and the Rebbe being appointed to be our Rebbe 68 years ago. How do we connect it to this expansha? He spoke last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So in this expansha we're having a story of the war with Amalek. At the end of the parsha we'll learn that Amalek came to fight Am Yisrael. The story goes that Moshe Rabbeinu told Yeshua, go out there and fight with them. And Moshe Rabbeinu himself, he, as being part of the war, said he went up to the mountain to pray to Hashem that it should be a success for Am Yisrael. But then we'll learn when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to pray to Hashem on the mountain. It says, "V'yidei Moshe kvedim." The hands of Moshe was very heavy, kaved, heavy, and he couldn't keep it up. And they needed to help him from both sides to keep his hands up. So we'll learn why did this happen to him, that Moshe Rabbeinu's hand became heavy. And the reason is because when Amalek comes to fight with Am Yisrael, why are you sending Yeshua to fight and you go daven to Hashem, you go out and fight for Am Yisrael? Even though Moshe Rabbeinu in his mind, he thought the best one to fight Amalek should be Yeshua. It's a long explanation about it, why Yeshua was the right person for this job. And he felt it's more than me, more than Moshe Rabbeinu. My duty should be go on the mountain and daven. But Hashem wanted to relate a message to him. When Am Yisrael is in trouble, that's not a time to daven. The same as we learned previously about the story that Moshe Rabbeinu was davening to Hashem before the story splitting the scene. Hashem said, "Ma titzak elai, daber od Yisrael v'Yisau." Why are you screaming? Why are you davening? We got to do. And it came again, the end of the parsha with the same story. Am Yisrael is in trouble. Amalek is fighting them. Moshe Rabbeinu in his mind thinks the best way is let Yeshua fight, and I'm going to daven. Hashem makes his hands be heavy. Hard for him to daven to Hashem. Why are you davening? Why don't you go fight for Am Yisrael? And this is why Hashem made his hands be heavy. Why did Hashem punish him by his hand? Well, this is the idea. Hashem was not a punishment. Hashem wanted to teach Moshe Rabbeinu a lesson. Moshe Rabbeinu, the Tzaddik Ador, learns a lesson from Hashem. The same hands that is supposed to go and fight for Am Yisrael, Hashem said, you take your hands to daven, these hands will be punished. It's going to be heavy for you. And what is the message Hashem relates to Moshe Rabbeinu? The message is for us, especially when we're coming to this day of Yud Shvat. Very strong message that Amanik Yisrael, the leader of the Jews, his duty, his job is to be a part of Am Yisrael. Don't isolate yourself from Am Yisrael, even though you have the greatest intention, as Moshe Rabbeinu had the greatest intention to daven to Hashem. No, be part of the trouble. Be part of the problem. Hey, when Am Yisrael has a war, be part of the war. Be a part of the people that fighting the war. This is what Hashem wants you to do. And this is what Moshe Rabbeinu writes in the Torah. Me as a man of Yisrael, I'm teaching you the lesson that even me, a man of Yisrael, what I'm supposed to be doing is fighting the war with Am Yisrael, not being up there in the mountain and davening. Not that he did anything wrong, but the message is there. And this is how we learn the story about Mashiach. About Mashiach Tzidkenu we'll learn. But it says about Mashiach, where is Mashiach? It says he's suffering the pain of Am Yisrael. Well, this is why it says about Mashiach is Metzoira, he's leprosy. Why is it leprosy? He's suffering the pain with Am Yisrael, and this is what the real leader teaches us. Mashiach, the leader of Am Yisrael, teaches us that right now Am Yisrael is suffering in Golus. When he is Mashiach, he's suffering with us. And to be a leader of Am Yisrael is not to remove yourself from Am Yisrael. Be part of Am Yisrael. Have the pain with them. And this is why Mashiach, it says about him, he is Metzoira. He is leprosy. He suffers together with us. And this relates to Yud Shvat. The Hilula of the Frierdiker Rebbe, as the Rebbe mentioned this a few times. And the Rebbe mentioned about the previous Rebbe, but we can see it, but the Rebbe did the same thing. As we know the story that a doctor came to the previous Rebbe after his stroke, and he said to him, your power of helping Am Yisrael was with your mouth, and Hashem took away the power of speech from you. Why is this happening? And the Rebbe explains the story, and he says the reason is why, because as being a man in Israel, he wanted to be part of the pain and part of the suffering of Am Yisrael. And that's what our Rebbe is all about. That's what Haman in Israel is all about. And this is the Rebbe, as we know how the story with our Rebbe himself, that in the year Tafshin and Beis, the Rebbe suffered a stroke, he couldn't talk. And the Rebbe said, right before that, he said that message regarding the previous Rebbe. And the message was with him too. He's suffering with Am Yisrael. And this is what a manik, this is a leader, and this is what Moshe Rabbeinu teaches us from this expansion. If you're not with Am Yisrael fighting the war, you try to daven, your hands, it's going to be too heavy, it's hard. Because our manik Yisrael, our leader of Am Yisrael, has got to be together with Am Yisrael. And this is what we learn, the Rebbe teaches us in this week's Parsha, and in this story of Yud Shvat. As the Rebbe being the man in Yisrael, turning to be the Rebbe of Am Yisrael in this Shabbos. What is the message of a Rebbe being the Rebbe of Am Yisrael, the leader of Am Yisrael? He's part of Am Yisrael. He's like Hashem says, I'm with you in the pain. The Rebbe, the Manik, the leader is with us together in the pain. But this is our tefillah, this is our prayer, that we shall all get out of the pain with Mashiach Tzidkenu. And then Mashiach, then the leader of Am Yisrael can be together with us. But being together with us in simcha, in joy, Emetz Hashem, this Shabbos with Mashiach Tzidkenu. Have yourself a great Shabbos.